Hey, everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball Card Breaks. Today, we have another edition of Time Travel Tuesday, and we are going to open this entire box of 1991-92 Topps Stadium Club hockey. There are 36 packs in this box. Let's get cracking. We opened up, I think it was 9 packs last Tuesday, and there was some really good cards in there. But as I mentioned on that day, there's really no cards of super value in here, mostly just for fun. I enjoy this era of hockey. This is about the time the Detroit Red Wings started getting really good, and that was my team, of course, being from Detroit. And so we're looking for a lot of the Detroit Red Wings from this era, like Stevie Y. I'm looking for Sergei, Nick Lidstrom, Bob Probert, one of my all-time favorite Detroit Red Wings. There's a lot of other great cards. Obviously, Gretzky's in here. Mark Messier, Mario Lemieux. I don't think Yager was around just quite yet, but there's, I'm not a big Patrick Waugh fan, obviously, as a Red Wings fan, but Patrick Waugh is in here. And so let's see if we can't find some really fun cards from this era. We have a lot to get through, so we're going to try to, get through this as quickly as we can as we start off with Al MacInnis, one of the great slap shots of all time. And then we're going to follow that up with somebody I don't even know, Phil Sykes, probably best known for his awesome mustache. We're going to flip and take a look here at Zdeno Segir, solid Russian player. Or I think maybe he was from the Czech. I can't remember exactly. Ray Shepard, now with the Red Wings. That's right. He did come over to Detroit from the Rangers. This is an awesome photograph. Take a look at the back. Stadium Club is probably the premier style as far as great photographs. And this is the back where it shows the rookie card of that player. And you get the nice rink inside with the Sporting News scouting report. Those are actually kind of fun to read. I read a few of these from the break that we did last Tuesday, and they're actually kind of entertaining. Marty McSorley coming over from Edmonton to be Wayne Gretzky's enforcer, as a lot of the Edmonton Oilers did from that period. Here is Cam Neely, Seabass from Dumb and Dumber. But, assistant captain for the Bruins. Here's Christian Ruutu, great player for the Sabres. And as we take a look here at Yves Racine on my Red Wings, a defenseman's defenseman. John Tucker. A lot of these cards are slightly bricked. I'm trying to be careful as I can, separating them, because I don't want to, do too much damage. As we take a look at Keith Primo, and you can see here some of the residue from the previous card there. Coming loose, and, it's Keith Primo. I love Keith Primo, but, he's no Wayne Gretzky, so we want to make sure that we don't do any damage to the Gretzkys or any of the other awesome players from this era. It's Paul McDermott, and we have ourselves Scott Arniel for the Jets before they went away, came down here to Phoenix, and now they're the Jets again. As we try to get, here's our first Sharks card. The Sharks became a franchise at the end of this season as Rob Zettler. I'm assuming he was an expansion draft player. Zarli Zalapsky for my Whale, and Ray Ferraro, pretty decent scorer in that time period. As we have another card bricked here, let's take a look here at Doug Evans for the Jets. We have these inserts we showed you last week for the Sporting News. You don't even know where to find the best hockey coverage. Oh yeah, it's on the back of this card, and there you go. So there's one of those in each one of these packs, which actually kind of helps prevent the bricking, to be honest. There's John Druce of the Caps, those great retro Caps jerseys. Jeremy Roenick, this guy's got sent to the sin bin. I think he's lost his ability to do any analyses. There's Tim Shovelday, the goaltender before we got Chris Osgood and before we got Hasek and before we got Mike Vernon. So he's got a place in my heart as Pell Eklund. And we're going to finish it up with another whale, Terry Yake. Okay, let's get into the next pack here. We got a bunch of these to get through. I'm sure at some point we're going to see some repeat collation. It's always nice to get extra Wayne Gretzky's, all right? Here is Vyacheslav Fetisov. He's part of the Russian Five. He came over to Detroit, and I think he was probably in his late 30s when he was part of that Russian Five line with Fedorov. And here's Dirk Graham, another fantastic mustache, captain of the Blackhawks. Brian Bradley. I believe he was one of the first, I think he was on the expansion Tampa Bay Lightning, one of their first great players, Grant Ledyard. And Stevie Y, there we go. Probably not probably. He's my favorite Red Wing all time. We're going to put that over here on the side because, we want to keep this for the PC. Again, not a lot of value. This is probably a couple dollar card. But beyond that, probably not a lot of great value. And then we're looking at Mike Ramsey. There's that insert. And then we have Andre Rassiot, goaltender for the Habs. Habs still in the playoffs. We're down to Final Four. Kevin Stevens. Dave Gagne. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Golden Knights simply because I lived in Vegas as they were having their inaugural year. But I think you really kind of have to, I don't know. I mean, I feel this way. You really kind of have to root for the Canadian team, right? I mean, after all this time, it would be nice to see a Canadian team, especially the Canadians are the only team left, get in there and win another cup, for the motherland. Let's take a look here at the next pack. We've got ourselves Dave Christian, and now with the Blues. And we're going to follow that up with Dale Hunter, the Caps. Another player who had been moved to a new team, Mikhail Taternov of the Nordiques. We're going to follow him up with Ken Reggett, goaltender for the Flyers, Mike Foligno, and Murray Craven. Some of these players here I remember from the last time Travel Tuesday we did. Joe Nieuwendyk, big scorer. Rich Sutter, one of the many Sutter brothers. And Jel Samuelson. Ken Hodge. We have goaltender Kirk McLean. I believe that is of the Canucks. And Mark Fitzpatrick of the Isle. Oh my gosh, are we going to be able to get through all these? I don't know. We did probably my second most popular hockey video was a 91-92 Upper Deck, in which I tried to open a whole box just like this. And I got down to, I guess, what was the final 2 or 3 packs before my camera shut down. I mean, here's Mike Foligno again. And we were really trying to find a Gretzky. And I did get a Gretzky, but it was off camera, which really sucked. Here's a Teo Fleury who scored 51 goals this year in that season. So great goal scorer, Ed Olczyk. So that was kind of a bummer to pull a Gretzky off camera. Hey, there's Igor Larionov, Red Wing, part of the Russian Five in his early days with the Canucks. Tony Herkak, now with the Sharks. So there's another example of a player who, through the expansion team, expansion draft, went over to the Sharks. Steve Smith of the Oilers. Shane Corson of the Habs. And we follow that up with another Canadian, Tom Chorsky. And another Hab, Andre Horacio, who we just saw. Follow that up with Mike Hudson. And I noticed this is obviously during the warm-ups. He's not wearing a helmet, but there were still some players in this era that were grandfathered in that did not have to wear the helmet. And I think we found a couple of those, like Doug Wilson was one that came up last week. And so we might see a couple of those. I think, not Guy Lafleur, Guy Carbonneau was another one who was not wearing a helmet this season. Here's Kevin Dineen of the Whale and Peter Zezel of the Maple Leafs. Al Iafrate, another guy who had a heavy slap shot, over 100 miles an hour, if I remember some of those All-Star Game festivity contests. Here's Chris Chelios. I mean, really, probably one of the great defensemen of all time, but he played into his mid-40s for the Red Wings on defense. I'm going to put him over here on the good side for me. I'm going to put him in my collection. Bill Ranford, great goaltender there for the Oilers. Another Blackhawks player here. We have Tony McKegney. Tough guy. He will punch you in the face. Not even think twice about it. Not even feel guilty. Kevin Miller, one of the two Miller brothers, Kevin and Kelly Miller, both played for the Red Wings briefly. Jeff Brown for the Blues. Danielle Marois. And we have ourselves Mike Huff. A portrait of Patrick LeBeau. I believe this was his rookie card. There's no really great rookies in this set, which is why the value isn't really there. I'm trying to think. There was one, Cullen, I believe, is in here. Mike Cullen. I believe he's probably the best rookie card in here, which is not saying much. Martin Jelena of the Oilers, as they're again kind of stuck together here. Tim Berglund, I don't remember him. Most of these players I definitely remember watching, but I would say that primarily, as we look at Brent Fedek of my Red Wings, it's basically from the old Sega Genesis games, playing just thousands and thousands of those from NHL 91, probably through 94. As we look here at Wes Walls. So I was 20 years old for this set, as we look at Denny Savard, great goal scorer. Jamie McCown, before he came over to the Wings, signing an autograph. And so I was 20 years old, so this was like my heyday of drinking and staying up all night playing hockey with my boys, having a good time. Gary Lehman, still showing up for work, miraculously. Uwe Krupp and John McClain. So I'm trying to think, what was I doing in 1991? Man, I think I worked in the summers, maybe at an old photo lab at the mall. Like when you used to take your film to the photo lab to be developed. I think that was my summer job. Uwe Krupp once again, and John McClain once again. And that was my summer job. And so I was showing up for work, a little hungover, and playing hockey all night long. And Mikhail Tatarnov, again, why can't I say that name? Tatarnov, there we go. And there's Ken Reggett, so that's obviously a collation that's all stuck together. Nick Kyprios and John McIntyre of the Kings. A little bit of residue there, lost. So, yeah, I mean, those were great times, man. I would love to be able to go back and just sit around and play hockey all night and have a few beers with my boys and not have to worry about all the tough stuff about being an adult. Doug Gilmour, man, I hardly remember him on the on the Flames. I still remember him on the Maple Leafs being a thorn in the side of the Red Wings. Kevin Stevens. There's a guy who had some problems off the ice after he retired with substance abuse, I guess is maybe the best way to say that. This was the era where, people were probably still doing a lot of coke, but crack was a big deal back then. And he was Grant Fuhrer, wow, awesome goaltender. He was in New York during that period, and it's well documented his substance abuse problems. There's Scott Pearson for the Nordiques, awesome jerseys before they went to the Avalanche and became one of my least favorite teams. Tony Granato of the Kings, John Morris, I don't remember you. Mark Janssens, I remember him being on the Whale, and if I wasn't playing the Red Wings on NHL 91, I was definitely playing the Whalers. Jocelyn Lemieux, Don Beaupre, goaltender of the Capitals. Ulf Samuelsson, him and his brother Kjell Samuelsson, tough guys. Defenseman. Brent Ashton, he played for the Red Wings briefly. I don't know if it was before this. No, I guess it would have been after this. Tim Sweeney. And we're looking at Gary Roberts, great goal scorer. This probably isn't his rookie card, but it might be really close. I know he played 335 games at that point of his career, so that's at least 3 seasons worth. Kevin Dineen for the Whale. All right, keeping it rolling here. No Gretzky's. Come on, we need a Wayne Gretzky here. Wayne Gretzky is card numbered 1 in the set. So I don't know. I mean, I know it's not a short print or anything, but I'd be really disappointed if we didn't at least pull a Gretzky or 2. Jim McKenzie. There's 400 cards in this set, and there's 12 cards in a pack and 36 packs in the box. Alf Iafrate. I'm not going to do the math on that. I'll let you figure that out quickly in your own head. Chris Chelios. We'll put Chelios over here. Again, the other Chelios. And Bill Ranford. Back up to Fuhrer, who we just saw. Tony McKegney once again. We're seeing a lot of collation, repetitiveness. There's Bob Sweeney. Mike Gartner. Terrible mustache. Great goal scorer. Captain at the time for the Rangers. So he must have ceded that title to Mark Messier. Now with the Oilers, Scott Mellenby, the Rat. I remember when he was on the Florida Panthers. Whenever he would score a goal, they would toss a bunch of rats on the ice, like plastic rats. Gaëtan Duchesne. And we're going to finish up this pack with Brian Scrudlin. I lived in Miami, actually Sunrise, Florida, right down the road from the Panthers Arena, which is across the street from the Sawgrass Mills Mall, one of the biggest malls in the U.S. And a company I used to work for at that period, that was our corporate office, was in that general area, Patrick Sundstrom. So I've been to a couple of Florida Panthers game. Glenn Anderson, great goal scorer. And I remember, hey, here's Rod Langway, who grandfathered in not having to wear the helmet. And so I remember going to a couple of those Panthers games in the period where they were, I guess they'd already been to the Stanley Cup Finals one season, but they were already had fallen from grace. And it was Bob Airy before he came to the Wings. And you could go up and buy like a lower bowl seat for like $30. Luke Robitaille, awesome player. And a future Detroit Red Wing, Yuri Herdina. And so you could sit right in the lower bowl. There would be no one in there. You could hear the players yell at each other. You could hear the coaches yell. Matthew Schneider, good goal scorer. Bernie Nichols. I guess we could say Bernie Nichols, a little bit of a disappointment, high draft pick. And spent his time playing with Gretzky and Patrick Flatley. Kirk Muller, I remember a lot. Man, a lot of these names I definitely remember as think of a lot of goals in this era. This was a high offensive era. Where is Fedorov? We got ourselves an Yzerman. Let's find a Fedorov card here. There's Rick Vive and Pat LaFontaine from Detroit, Michigan, and has a, I don't know if he still does, has a collection of Chevy dealerships, I want to say, in Michigan. At least he did at one point. Vladimir Ruzicka. Don't remember him at all. And let's see here. We've got another whale. We've got Dean Evison. I remember playing with his players on the NHL 91. Paul Broughton. And Robert Cron also became a whaler at one point. Petri Srico. Don't know him. Patrick Waugh. I'd love to just throw this card across the room, but you know what? It is Patrick Waugh. We have to respect the Waugh. Dan Quinn. I still can picture him after it gave up 7 goals. They didn't pull him from the game, whatever it was. He went over and cried to his bench and demanded a trade, and that was the end of Waugh as he went to, I guess, the Avalanche, right? And that's where he became a major nemesis of the Detroit Red Wings. But, you know, I mean, Patrick Waugh, Hall of Famer. And I think he became a head coach, too. Oh, look at this. That is some mean-looking hockey hair. Jaromir Jagr. This is his second-year card? Yeah, this is a second-year card. So this is awesome. I love this card already. I don't have this in my collection. And it appears to be in pretty damn good shape. Nice tweed. That's not tweed. What is that? I don't even know. This is before hockey players made a ton of dough. But you know what? Awesome card. Love it. Put it right in the good pile. David Shaw. Let's pull a couple more of those. I would love to have a couple more of those in my collection. David Volek and Ron Hextall. Goalie for the Flyers. Not in the Hall of Fame. Maybe deserves some serious consideration. Chris Terreri and Joel Otto. Another insert. Oh, who'd I just drop on his face? Pat Verbeek. You know what? I'm all thumbs, but he's not. He is missing half of a thumb. And that's probably why... well, he finished his career with Detroit. I mean, put up a lot of... he scored over 500 goals in his career, so... good job scoring without a thumb. I know it was a farming accident. Martin Hostick from when he was a kid. Don Sweeney and Roger Johansson. Don't remember him at all. And Brent Suter. One of 5 Suter brothers. Most of them have gone on to coach and be fired and coach again. That's struggling to open this pack here. Okay. Teo Fleury. I think we got 2 of him in the Time Travel Tuesday from last week as well. And then we have Eddie Olczyk, Igor Larionov, Tony Herkak. Yeah, this is a collation we've already seen. Bob Essenza. Flip for Corey Millen. There we go. This is a rookie card. And this is the guy I was trying to think of earlier that I couldn't come up with the name. Then we're looking at Randy Carlyle, hockey hair, dad hair, hockey hair. Obviously he was grandfathered in. Larry Robinson, he probably should have been grandfathered in, but I chose to wear the helmet. Good for him. We have another player here now with the Bruins, Glenn Featherstone. And then we have Joe Ricci, Glenn Wesley, and Peter Svoboda. Hey, have you guys, if you haven't, I definitely recommend this. On HBO Plus, Beartown. It's a season. I think it's 5 episodes of this Scandinavian hockey team, and I want to say it's a Swedish team because I remember seeing the Swedish flag, but now I can't remember exactly, where a player who spent his career in the NHL has come home to coach a minors team. And some of the trials and tribulations that they go through, it's also a bit of a crime show. And I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. It's actually really fantastic. Chris Joseph of the Oilers. This must have been a draft pick. He's got the, not the alternate jersey, but like a warm-up jersey on. Mike Richter, great goaltender for the Rangers. Paul Ranheim. But yeah, it's called Beartown. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of the show in its native language. Jeff Lazaro. Sean Burr, scrappy guy from the Red Wings, plant himself right in front of the net. Nick Vakota. Oh, I've often tried to go through and look at the advertisements on the boards. I don't know what that is for. Obviously, that's Gulf Oil, which no longer is in existence. Randy Voleshik. I still think we got a long way to go here. Maybe we'll cap this at about 40 minutes. That's a long time to watch any video, and I wanted to get through as many of these as we could. We're like a little over 25 minutes right now. So if you hang in there, maybe this will pay off, and we'll find ourselves a Gretzky. Dave Gagne. We have Jim Weimer, never heard of him, for the Bruins. Flipping it on over for Sylvain Lefebvre of the Habs. Oh, man. Got to be careful I don't knock over my camera. I'm going to just twist it back into place. Jeff Smith for the Oilers. Flipping it back for Garth Butcher. What's he doing there? Heating up a stick, maybe? I don't know. And we're going to... Mike Ricci, worst hair of all time. He is in the middle there, and I guess he didn't have it then. But once he went to Edmonton, oh man, Mike Ricci, don't like that guy. Doug Wilson, there we go. Now with the Sharks, not wearing a helmet. I'm not sure why I keep pointing that out. I just do kind of find it fascinating that we look at Brian Leach there, Jimmy McCown. I do find it fascinating that anyone would play hockey without a helmet on. And now, knowing what we know about concussions and CTE, not wise, but I guess we all just get in our ways and, maybe just for the comfort level of not wearing a helmet, maybe that's why they would choose not to do it. I'm sure it's probably a big part of it. Mikko Makala. And we have Gary Volk. Lee Norwood, before he came over to the Wings briefly. We have Alexei Kasatonov for the Devils. Bob Kudelski. Sergio Momesso. We have to remember that this was a time when, shortly before this period of hockey, where there weren't a lot of Russians coming over. I mean, they were having to risk their lives and their families' lives to defect to the NHL. And I can remember, especially with Fedorov, Mike McNeil, I do not remember you. Cliff Ronning. I do not remember a lot of these players. Cliff Ronning, I remember. Paul Coffey, wow, awesome. Awesome player. He's going right in the good pile. Great defenseman. Even when he was slightly over the hill in his time with the Red Wings, he still put up a ton of points. Mario Lemieux, let's follow him. Paul Coffey up with Mario Lemieux. One of the greatest goal scorers of all time. Hall of Famer. I saw his last game at the Joe Louis Arena before he briefly retired for his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma that he was able to recover from and come back, play some more hockey. But I was saying about the Russian players coming over here and defecting. I mean, it was just a huge risk. You got to give him some serious props for coming over here. And man, I can't imagine what the Red Wings would be like if we didn't have that Russian 5 line. Craig Janney. And we have Frank Pietrangelo. There's Kelly Miller. We saw Kevin Miller on the Red Wings earlier. And then we follow that up with, as we try to get refocused here, come on. There we go. Paul Stanton. All that for Paul Stanton. Bob Basson. And, man, they are just getting more and more sticky. Murray Barron. We're going to flip it on over to Laurie Boschman. And Rajon Lemelin. Oh, I do remember this guy. Huh. Keith Acton. Danielle Berthome, goaltender for the Kings. Dave Taylor, Kings. And Bob Carpenter. Okay, come on. Let's get a Gretzky here. We're down to a stack and a half of packs left. Can we get through these in the next 9 minutes? That is what I would like to try to do. I guess we're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit without having to completely knock over my camera. I got excited. Who can blame me, really? As I, think back about this time of my life. Trevor Linden, great player. We have another Red Wing coming up. Brad Jones of the Kings, now with the Flyers. Don't remember him. Rick Zombo. I remember he played he was definitely one of those players that was in the period where we transitioned from being absolutely horrible into like a perennial contender. Hubie McDonough, I don't remember him. But yeah, Rick Zombo, not going to be remembered. Probably deserves a little bit more credit. Now with the Sharks, Brian Mullen. Peter Stastny, awesome player. Goal scorer, right? Dougie Gilmore. Again, Toronto. And Pat Conacher, Mike McNeil, good Irish fella. I actually do not remember him. Jim Weimer, we've seen him before. And Sylvain Lefebvre. Okay. Come on, Gretzky.